Mr. Morgan Arthur, what's up? How you doing, man? Welcome. Jacob Humphreys, what's up? I'm doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good, man. I just jumped on the PS5 and no one's online, and I don't want to sit there in front of the PS5 waiting all day, so we're going to try a live stream and see if I can go for more than an hour and a half this time. What are you guys up to? How you guys doing? Morgan Arthur, the name looks familiar, but I'm pretty sure it's been a while since you've been in here. There we are. Damn, Jacob, how much did you spend on that? Yeah, I think we're going to call this edge shot. Ground Fog, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, 300 sounds about right. Patrick, what's up? How you doing? All right, let's see how much of a pain in the ass this is going to be to sharpen. Uh, Cementine to grays. Yeah, as much as I like the bug out and all that, and as much as I do like Benchmade, just way too expensive. Way too expensive. Lazo Lahani, what's up? How you doing? I am also very poor. I can't afford to. I can't afford to give them away because I can't afford to pay for shipping. But when I do my next giveaway, you're more than welcome to enter and see if you can win one. Come on, where's our first herder masturbation? I think I'm apexed. Kevin from Cali, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. I don't think prototype knives are worth more except to the right person. Like, I am the right person. You know, I'll pay a little bit extra for a prototype. But like when I'm at Blade Show, the prototypes are going for regular retail or sometimes less. That's going all right, Kevin. It's going all right, man. Just a guest. What's up? How you doing? You know, I haven't done a live stream in a little while, so I figured it was a good time to do one. Plus, nobody's online for playing Fortnite. And the thing I love about D2 is it never really forms a burr. Christian Marshall, what's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, this is the Worksharp Precision Adjust Professional. I've got the Elite, which I used for a long time, but this is the Professional. It's the big boy. Uh, if you compare this to the Elite, it's only pros. It is significantly better than the Elite because you've got the electronic angle gauge. Your clamp is wider, so it holds a little bit better. Your clamp is wider, so it holds better. You got the digital gauge. This works a lot better than on the Elite. If your knife is a little bit too long, you can rock this back and flip like this. It just works a lot better than the Elite, and these wider stones sharpen a lot faster than the Elite does. Like, I can't say enough good things about how much better than the Elite this thing is. And no, I'm not under obligation to sell that, to sell these things. I wish Worksharp would get at me. Worksharp, where are you, man? Sponsor me. Sponsor me, Worksharp. But trust me, if this wasn't better than the Elite, I would still be using the Elite. And you can get the extra stones to take it up to 3,000 grit. There's still a little bit of a up and down flex with the blade. A little bit if you're going too hard with it. But I've never had a problem with that. Like, I've never had it make the knife less sharp just because it did that a little bit. But you can buy things that will stabilize it. You can buy things on Etsy and stuff like that that will stabilize it for you. Oh, that's so the base doesn't rock back and forth like this while I'm sharpening. I don't have to, but as you can see with the mat and all that, it tends to walk back and forth. Now, what we're doing, if you're new here, is we're doing edge retention testing. So right now I'm sharpening this to 17 degrees per side because the factory edge gave out. And it gave out at a surprisingly low number on the electronic edge sharpness tester. But we're at the part. Then we're going to do a rope cutting test before we sharpen her up to 3,000 grit and go for raw edge retention on cardboard. This right here is a knife from Cobalt Tools that you can buy at Lowe's for dirt cheap. It's a dirt cheap D2 knife. This is a budget knife focus channel. We do take a look at nicer things when they cross my palms. We do take a look at nicer things when I get a hold of them, but we're definitely more oriented towards the budget end and checking out stuff like this to find out whether or not it's worth it. Mountain Man 971, what's up? How you doing, man? I think I can feel the tiniest trace of a burr, and that is one thing that is frustrating with this versus freehand sharpening, is you don't really feel a burr on a lot of steels. Like D2 is real bad about not letting you feel a burr, whereas on a coarser grit, when you're freehand sharpening, a burr comes up almost immediately. This does not raise a burr on stuff like D2. You know, all I can do is assume that I have apexed with as much material as been removed, especially with the black magic marker on the edge. And go ahead and strop. Christian, I believe you're right. If you remind me next go around, we'll do a single direction and see if a burr comes up. I like the back and forth just because it makes it a little bit easier for me personally to keep everything under control and keep everything where I like it. And we're stropping this to 0.5 microns. Or we're stropping it down to 5 microns. When we sharpen it down for cardboard, we're going to strop it down to 0.1 microns. Yeah, it looks like we got her sharp. All right, let's get a ballpark idea where our edge is sitting. Yeah, 217. All right, here comes the fun. And by the way, this is a Cobalt Tools knife. This came from Lowe's, which it was a part of a trade from Saints EDC and more. He wanted some beads, so he sent me a surprise package of budget stuff, budget flashlight, couple of budget knives. I carried it. It worked pretty good. The standard razor knife blade. Let's see. Yeah, right there at utility razor blade. I like getting them down to about 140, but getting them down to 140 is the territory of the 3000 grit finish, the mirror polish. Why does my foot itch? All right. Now we cut the rope 10 times and see how much edge we lost. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. Yeah, I will say, guys on YouTube make these cuts on the rope look way easier than it actually is. Eight. Yeah, longer blades definitely help. Like I've done plenty of larger blades. As a matter of fact, the last one we did was the petrified fish beluga, which you can see how much of a difference that is. The longer blades help and the longer handles help because you can get more pressure on the cut for sure. But still, it's not as like it looks so much easier when other guys do this. All right, that makes number 10. And we got some emotional support caffeine on deck. All right, let's see where we're at. Yeah, Christian, I like the amount of information you're dumping. Even though it's a lot of the stuff I already know too, it's nice to be able to talk about it. All right, wipe the edge off. $3.44. Okay, so that is the rope portion of the test done. We went from 217 to 344, which is a noticeable amount of wear. At 344 puts us at new high-end cutlery edge. But now we sharpen her again and get her up to 3,000 grit. All right, so now we're just pushing one direction. We're just pushing one direction. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Christian. That's part of why I like talking about this stuff. And it also makes this feel a little better for me. You know, the engagement is nice. This gets way harder to sit here and do if nobody's talking for like 30 or 40 minutes at a time. Which a while back, engagement wasn't an issue at all. And then out of nowhere, the number of concurrent viewers I got dropped down into the toilet. Yeah, still not feeling a burr on the D2. Punisher, what's up? How you doing? Is that Vontaeus Guns? Did I pronounce that right? How you doing? Welcome. But yeah, engagement didn't used to be a problem. And then out of nowhere, just the number of viewers dropped. And everything. Oh, really, Vontaeus? What's your channel about? What do you got? All right, I am entirely sure I've apexed. Oh, I wish I had the money to do gun content. Faces of Death, man. I still can't believe you found that at Walmart. Well, Christian, I think part of that too is you can't put as much pressure on here as you can with a stone, and yeah, the 400 or the 325 grit on the stone feels significantly coarser than the 320 on this thing. Yeah, and I'm at a point right now where the channel has to support itself. I can't afford to be buying a bunch of knives, and unfortunately, I have to be on a new knife every week for review. So now I'm stretching the knives out to a couple of weeks, waiting till the channel can support itself again. Now, a burr should show up as I get higher in the grits. As I get higher in the grits, a burr usually shows up, especially hitting 600 to 800 grit. The burr will start showing up real tiny, but while you're establishing the bevel and hogging off material, the burr just doesn't like showing up. Yeah, I was just talking to one of my managers yesterday about guns and stuff like that, because he trains. Like, he trains and competes with guns. And it's a lot of fun to talk about them, even though I don't know that much. You know, I've got a few of my own, but they're kind of the get out of trouble kit. You know, the shit hits the fan and you got to take off running, and everybody else is running too. King Gwen, what's up? How you doing? But, you know, shit hits the fan and everybody has to take off running at once. I've got my get out of trouble kit. But I'd love to be able to get into the hobby end and actually go shooting for fun and be able to afford new guns, new parts, new toys, all that. But Punisher, how's your mom's doing? Keith the Knife Freak, what's up? How you doing, man? Welcome. There we go. Now we're getting a small burr. I said it's weird. It's weird that the burr doesn't show up when you're hogging off material. You'd think a larger burr would show up quicker, but nope. Keith, this is a Cobalt Tools knife from Lowe's. We're doing edge retention testing on it to see how it does with extended use on cardboard. We just tested it out on rope. I'm not exactly sure what this thing costs, but I know it's dirt cheap. Yeah, it doesn't feel like this is that soft for D2, but it feels like it's on the soft side. Probably, if I had to guess, around 55 or 56 HRC. Just going off a feel. Yes, we are sharpening the knife. We are getting her sharpened up to a mirror polished edge, so we can give it a good chance of performing well on cardboard. I haven't used A2. I think this might be the first time I'm hearing of A2. I may have heard about it before. Avantes, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that. Good to meet you too, man. Hopefully we're back to the live streams being regular. Like, I miss being able to interact with YouTube. It's just with the views and everything going in the toilet, and like streaming 4 or 5 hours to get 900 views, it gets real hard to interact with YouTube at that point. Joseph, what's up? How you doing, man? Appreciate you swinging by. We're just trying to finish off the edge retention testing on this Cobalt Tools knife. I want to make way for the Lander 1. So we need to get this one done and get it out the way. Isn't that always the way, Punisher? The one thing I hate about sharpening soft steel is it gets real hard to get it down below 200 on the tester. And I like to see the 140s. Especially with D2. Yeah, the algorithm may have started to hate live streams. But you would think YouTube trying to compete with Twitch and everything else would definitely be pushing the live streams a lot harder. You know, I think Ice Cream Man, my sleep paralysis demon, has gone from 350 to 500 concurrent viewers to around 250 the last time I saw him on here. Which I'm not mad at him because he is successfully gaming the system and doing a damn good job of it. I'm just mad at the system because I'm doing something here that can prove useful to some people. And, you know, I'm struggling to get up over 15, 20 viewers. Yeah, maybe I need to set the old tripod back up and start doing shorts. Just figure out what I can do shorts on. Yeah, I smashed the shit out of my finger, man. I smashed the living shit out of my finger, dude. It hurts so bad. Okay, on to ceramic, which is probably not a necessary step, but yeah, there's the damage I did to that nail. It hurts so bad. It only really hurt for a day or so, but then again, my pain tolerance is definitely as, like, I've got the pain tolerance of a junkie, which is really damn high. Yeah, like, not that long ago, by comparison, you know, I could peak at about 100 viewers, and then it would go down to 30 to 50 sticking around at any one time. Like, us hovering around 20 for as long as we have is a dramatic improvement from what it's been just right there. Yeah, as much as I miss those views, I'm trying to stick with this and not give up completely, because if I stay gone for too long, like the last time I was gone for a couple of months, odds are I'm not coming back for a long damn time. You know, I'm also a little disappointed. I'm probably not going to get to do Blade Show this year. which all the money I saved up went for a good cause, don't get me wrong. But that's just like, you know, the views dropping off when they did. You know, last month I was going to do a fundraiser for Make-A-Wish Georgia in conjunction with my buddy Akil, who streams on Twitch. But with, you know, 100, you know, with like 600 to 900 views for the entire stream and maybe making $2 for the stream, there's no point. You know, I thought I might be able to raise 250, 300 bucks or something like that for the cause, but no. Yeah, more than anything, I just want to get in there and get my Devo prototype, you know? Kevin Williams, I don't know if I said hi to you, but what's up, man? Yeah, I think we're on 2000 grit now, so we're almost done sharpening. Chef Rocky, what's up? How you doing, man? It's been a minute. Oh yeah, I love this sharpener. The only thing is it makes it hard for me to break off and practice my freehand sharpening. But at the end of the stream, we will definitely do some freehand sharpening just to see what we can do with it. Because if I botch that really badly, I don't care. I'm never using this knife again. Yeah, we're on the resin bonded stones right now, Kevin. This is the 3000 grit. Yeah, it's been a minute, Chef Rocky. You know, I was just talking to the guys. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to make it to Blade Show this year. But what do you do? But yeah, honestly, I think, Kevin, the one thing that you're missing is the 1200 grit stone, and really you don't need it. Because you can very easily skip grits. Yeah, we got a nice little burr. I've just gotten locked in on going through every single grit and wasting a lot of time. I think you might have mentioned that. That was definitely a good score for $5. Yeah, so I've got a, of course I use the diamond plates that came with the Worksharp, but I've also got the Sharpall right here, which is 325 and 1200, I believe. Yeah, 325 and 1200. And then I got this ratty ass cheap block that I got from Harbor Freight for $7 a long time ago. And that's the full extent of my sharpening gear. Yes, I do use diamond emulsion. I use diamond emulsion that came from Cutting Lace EDC. We are stropping down to 0.1 micron. Now, why are we stropping down to 0.1 micron? Because we can. That's 9 micron, which is probably unnecessary after 3000 grit, but who cares? We got 5 microns right here. We got 1 micron here. And we got 0.1 micron. All right, did she get sharp? Yeah, she's sharp. Let's find out how sharp. Come on, 140 or thereabouts. I haven't carried that Ozark Trail, dude. I thought maybe I'd buy that and carry it and just get 3 or 4 videos for $7. You know, 3, 4 videos in a live stream. But I do not want to carry that thing. Real Thor 89, what's up? How you doing, brother? Okay, so you can pick between making me put socks on or picking a figure out. Which one do you want? Briggsy D, what's up? All right, sock game it is. Give me 1 second here. Whoo, 123. All right. I'm out in Georgia. Nah, I'm in my basement with AC running, dude. It is totally okay. Socks are going on. No socks. No socks. Okay, so you can pick a figure out. You can pick a figure out instead. You've got the robot, the knight, the alien, the Frankenstein, the mummy, the ninja, the Grim Reaper, or the scuba guy. Which one you want to pick out? Everybody loves the scuba guy. All right. Yeah, Real Thor, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right, so about 3 minutes here. We're going to pick the testing back up. I am so happy we got her down to 123. No, Real Thor, that is just nicotine. That is just nicotine, my dude. I can't handle. I can't handle smoking anything mind altering. Like I've been down that road and I will destroy my life within a week. Dean Bean 55, what's up? How you doing, man? All right, see you, Dean Bean. But we're working with blood orange. We're working with some blood orange. Real simple single flavor mix. Yeah, Real Thor, we're about to spend a few hours cutting up cardboard in just a second here. I'm just letting it hit 1250 so that I've got a round number to start off of. And it makes it easier to remember where I was. Epic Freeze, what's up? How you doing? Now, the next question. Real Thor, no, we don't talk about hurting people or hurting ourselves on here. That's a no-go. But shit, what was I saying? I lost track of my train of thought, you guys. No, and I used to do jackass stuff. I used to. God, I had fun doing that, but I am too old and tired for that shit now. As a matter of fact, the first episode of Jackass I watched with the shopping cart carnage. I watched that whole thing. I'm like, fuck, I used to do that. Welcome to the tedium. Yeah, Punisher, I do get that once in a while, but not as often as you'd think. Yeah, some of those jackass stunts, I guarantee you would not catch me dead doing those things. That's like the poo cocktail? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. God, you got no idea how many times I walked into work and been like, man, why can't YouTube pay the bills? You know, I'd like to build the channel up to where it can, but you know, I got a long road ahead of me before YouTube will pay bills. Yeah, I mean, real Thor, the philosophy here and the driving force behind this is, oh God, Punisher, I know how that is, and the longer you're gone, the harder it is to come back. But you know, I see a ton of reviews where guys just take the knife out of the box and flip it open 2 or 3 times, and they're like, hey, this knife is awesome. You need to go ahead and get it. And it's like, sir, you didn't do any actual work with that thing. You got no idea if the steel is heat treated well, or how good edge retention is, or how well it carries, what it's like to live with day in and day out. Like, you got nothing. Ever evolving daily carry, what's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, this is my day off for the weekend, so I'm definitely doing good. Once I get done with this, I'm gonna go and give the PS5 some love. Tusk, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, how you doing, Joe? Joey, Joe, Joey, Joe, Shabadoo. Come on. Oh, nice, Punisher. Yeah, hopefully you find a game that, hopefully you find a good main game soon. apparently my main has just become Fortnite. Yeah, I sat down earlier this morning and I was like, I'm going to run for a while, but none of my crew was online. I was like, you know what? We're going to go do a live stream. We haven't done a live stream in forever now. We haven't done a live stream longer than an hour and a half in quite a while, too. Yeah, the Ozark Trail was kind of a heartbreaker. It's just that Ozark Trail, the first 3 of them doing so damn good for me, and then everything else being absolute trash. I mean, their 3CR performs like 3CR should. But man, those dropouts, whew, buddy. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Punisher. Get a few bucks back out of them. Now, how long do you think we've got before the Gone Crappin' sign comes out? Because that there was a nice toasty warning fart. I think I can go more than 20 minutes. I think. But there was like my second warning fart of the morning. News Radio, what's up? We got the Cobalt Tools knife that we did not finish off last time. You would not believe the sheer quantity of cardboard. The sheer quantity of cardboard I got floating around. saving up for April. Or from saving up for March. Sorry, March. I'm so disappointed I didn't get to do charity work. One day, guys. One day. One day, one of the purposes behind these live streams will come to fruition. I'll be able to spend a month raising money for charity and actually raise a respectable amount. One of these days. Oh, nice. Nice. I keep looking at factory seconds and I'm like, I don't have the money. One thing that really chaps my ass that I don't have the money for is there's going to be a Devo X Vosteed collaboration coming out. Toe baby, what's up? How you doing? There's a Devo collaboration with Vosteed coming out and I don't have the money to buy it. I've been good, Toe baby. Just been going to work, going to sleep, and spending quality time with the PS5 lately. But we haven't done a proper live stream in a while, so we're doing a live stream. Yeah, I woke up way earlier than I wanted to today, but once I was up, there was no fixing it. Joe, what's up? You want to pick a figure or you want to do sock game? Thank you, thank you. All right, Ninja it is. Give me 1 second here. Of course, we know my favorites are the Ninja and the Knight, so I am always happy to bust the Ninja out. Oh no. Well, looks like we got a problem on our hands. Thank God for small favors. I still got the batteries. Where'd that dead battery go? So, baby, I appreciate you swinging by, though. Come on. No? Thank you, Joe. I am so glad I put those batteries where I could find them. I've got another one of those sheets of batteries floating around here somewhere. I just don't know where. Well, like, I have torn through the absolute pigsty that the area around my live streaming table is, and it just hasn't turned up. So, like, I ordered a second sheet of batteries just in case, and I'm glad I did. Like, that sheet of batteries is the second sheet of batteries that I bought. I have not found the first sheet. Probably somewhere with my Weehaw bits. All right, Joe, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it's good to see you too, man. Farm safely. Chris Kitts, what's up? How you doing, man? You never responded to the email. You know that, right? You know that, right, Chris? Hi, Polymer Duck. What's up, man? We're on the cobalt knife that we never finished the last time we did this. Nah, Chris, I was asking whether or not you wanted the stuff that you were planning on sending back, and then I never got a response. Gotcha, Chris. Yeah, because I mean, that's one thing about me is I know for a fact that I will intend to send things back. I will intend to ship things out and then never get around to it. Especially with my lack of funds right now. Oh, God. I think there's like $3 in the account from the YouTube money. But yeah, Chris, how you been doing, man? Punisher, you might have been right. You might have been right. The Gone Crappin' sign may come out earlier than I expected. Yeah, I will say, thank God right now, it's a double-edged sword. Like, thank God my job is 40 hours a week, because I don't know how much more I could take. But, dear God, being able to get some overtime would be nice. I said, I wish to God that they would cut the team leads the same overtime they cut management. It's like whenever you're a team lead, you are part of the management team, but we do not grant you the rank of manager. Yeah, I've seen on Reddit where Walmart does that, which it's just basically the same rank by any other name. A rose by any other name, it's still a rose. Punisher, I think you might have been right. The gone crapping sign's fixing to drop. Oh, yeah, I don't need a knife that's that small. Yep. It's that time. It is that time. Gentlemen, I am bringing the chat with me. No high polymer duck, but I am interested. I don't have the money to buy it, but I'm interested. Okay, I am back, you guys. I think I might have busted a blood vessel in my eye. Nick the Mac, you still in here? How you doing, man? Yeah, I was 3 flushes deep in that one and just kind of gave up. Yeah, Nick, what we're doing here is we're doing edge retention testing. I know you said you got the same cobalt knife. So we're just looking to see how the edge holds up to extended use. And checking out the ergonomics. Dope. Yeah, I got deep into the pack of baby wipes. I got deep into that pack of baby wipes. It's like trying to clean peanut butter out of a shag carpet. Yeah, this was a part of a trade from Saints EDC. I traded him some lanyard beads for a couple of toys. This was one of them. I mean, say what you will about it, the ergonomics are kind of rough. It's chewing my hand up pretty bad now, but it took one hell of an edge. So we're hoping she holds up for an extended run. A little bit of a hollow grind. As you can see, it's not a super high hollow grind. So it's definitely putting some resistance on the cut. It's a fairly thick little chunk of steel for what it is. Oh yeah, no, we got big sheets of cardboard at work that separate layers on pallets and stuff like that. I don't have to break them down all that often, but when I do, it's nice to have something good and sharp. Yeah, I was definitely happy to see the number it came out on. That 123 was nice. Come on. Nope. That isn't too bad a shape to cut. Yeah, for cardboard, personally, I prefer a full flat grind. Personally, I prefer a full flat grind for cardboard. Hopefully that D2 Ozark Trail is treating you good on edge retention. The first couple of ones I bought did great on edge retention, but then I picked up like 3 more to test out, or 2 more to test out, and they both did absolute terrible, like just total dog shit. You know, here's the thing, Nick. Here's the thing. I have gotten a lot of bad D2 lately. Like, we know how D2 is supposed to perform at doing this. We have done a shit ton of it. We have done a shit ton of D2. So we know what to expect out of it. And I mean, it's D2 from QSP, it's D2 from Holtzman's, it's D2 from Walmart. I'm trying to remember the other D2s that didn't do good. But we've had a lot of it where it wouldn't take an edge worth of shit, and it wouldn't hold that edge for longer than 20, 30 minutes of doing this, where it should be like 4 or 5 hours. It's like D2 will dice up a shit ton of cardboard when it's in good shape. With a good heat treatment, it will dice up a shit ton of cardboard. The Condor Krakatoa that we did in 1095 did not hold an edge for shit. And boy, let me tell you, the Condor Krakatoa is probably the worst knife I've experienced in a good little while now. I don't even know where the hell I put that thing. But that Condor Krakatoa is terrible. Terrible design, terrible edge retention, terrible everything. I'm not going to judge the entirety of Condor off of one bad knife. We got it for the 1095 steel that it came with. But that one knife is god-awful. It's okay, High Polymer Duck. Maybe we'll find another folding knife in 1095 at some point. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I thought Condor would have been reliable for really nailing their heat treatment. I don't know what happened with that one. Evil Twin, what's up? How's it going? Oh, damn, Nick. Yeah, how did you get the Kydex that hot, man? Were you working in Arizona or something like that? All right, that sounds like that Arizona grade heat. Oh, God, Georgia, man. Whew, Georgia summers wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the yellow jackets and the fucking humidity. And I will take the humidity if we could just get rid of the yellow jackets. I haven't heard good things about Bear & Sons. Jerry, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? We got some family in the chat. Jerry, you missed out on the Gone Crappin' sign. No, we haven't hit 100 degrees. I think we have hit around 85 so far. But I'm definitely not looking forward to how bad it's going to get later. No, I have not tried the Sword Peasant. That's actually the first time I've heard of it. I'm in a position where I wish I knew more about everything that's out there, like especially stuff like that where it's a little bit more off the beaten path. However, I'm kind of living hand to mouth on, I'm kind of living off of whatever the channel can pay for. And so it's a whole lot of budget knives, and it's kind of whatever I can find. Kelly, what's up? How are you doing? But, it's kind of whatever we can afford to buy that looks interesting. So there's a lot of stuff I've never heard of before or haven't had hands-on experience with. I'm not at a point now where I'm not at a point yet where a lot of companies are sending stuff in for me to check out for them. I was hoping to be at that point by now, but reality is often disappointing. That's all right. In June, I may see if I've got the intestinal fortitude for a couple of marathon streams. Yeah, Kelly, you're right. I think, and maybe someone like Punisher remembers for sure, but I think our record for a live stream was 13 hours. I'm kind of curious if we could beat that. because I took something like 9 days off in June for a blade show, just you know, getting psyched up for it, and then coming home and winding down a little bit, and also covering my ass just in case I pick up the flu again, like I did a couple of years ago. But I don't have any money for blade show now. Now, the absolute last of the blade show money that I had, and I mean the absolute last of it, went to pay for a new battery for my phone. Because I woke up the first day of the last week I took off of work. First day I wake up, and the phone battery is bloated to hell and back. Come on. There she goes. Yeah, Epic Freeze, I would love to have the money to pick up a Sandrin. Because trust me, the tungsten steel is one that the tungsten is one that I really, really, really want to test out. I don't want to have to sharpen it, but it all circles back around to the great green god. Money. Yeah, KO's got a Sandrin, and I think what he didn't like about it was where the lock interfaces with the liner or the frame or whatever. It's aluminum on steel, and he got lock rock off of that. We have got the $15 Cobalt Tools knife from Lowe's is what we're working with today. It's the same one we had on the last live stream, but we never finished the stream off. No, 15. I didn't say 50. 15. Like, I think one of the guys in chat said they're on sale right now for 10 bucks, which, I mean, honestly, for 10 or 15 bucks, I really can't argue with this. The ergos are a little rough for extended use. For general day-to-day use, they're not bad. But for what we're doing here, the extended use, it's not that comfortable. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I told you guys. But Jen sent us a picture of the scales of the scales of the I guess so. They're waiting on the blades to be done. Yeah, as quiet as it had gotten with Jen and even with KO reaching out and saying, hey, just checking in on you guys and not getting a response for a couple of weeks. Ooh, nice, Kelly. Nice. You use your shit. But I thought maybe I'd done the kiss of death deal again. I can't tell you how much I want Jen to get a table at Blade Show. Like, I will sit there and man the table. I will sit there and I will man the table. Nice, Kelly. Yeah, you'll know what it's like to be me after about the third hour of cutting up cardboard. But yeah, I mean, if Jen got a table at Blade Show, I would definitely sit there and man that son of a bitch. No, we don't have an ETA on the I guess so. I'm letting them take their time on that because, you know, they're doing me a favor. So I'm not being pushy about it. It'll happen when it happens. I would have loved for it to already be done and released, but you know, yeah, reality is often disappointing. Although just the fact that we have seen scales for the we have got a picture of the scales for the I guess so is plenty for me. It's going to be a 3-inch blade. It's going to be a 3-inch blade, and if it comes out and it does well enough, I want to do a bigger version with a 4-inch blade. Kind of get the cold steel experience, but on a nice tight budget. It'll be a 3-inch blade and 9 CR18. They're going to be G10, Kelly. They're going to be G10. Yeah, I'm not counting my chickens before they hatched on that. Like, I'm still treating the project as if it's something that might be aborted. Just because it still seems a little too good to be true. I'm thinking positive on it. But it's also one of those things where, you know, if it makes sense, it seems like it's too good to be true. You know, especially with it being handled by Jen as far as sales, distribution, everything else. I'm just getting a cut of the profits. Yeah, I definitely need to do shorts on it. Probably shorts on, like, I'll have to figure out how to edit down. No, it'll be a kit. It'll be a kit. Yeah. With them investing in making scales, it's a really good sign that they're definitely committed. But yeah, I have to figure out how to compress the assembly process. Figure out how to cut that down to a minute. And like, we should be getting a pretty big batch of prototypes. So when we do get them, or we're about to get them, I need to reach out to the guys that I'm sure, at least reasonably sure, would be interested in doing videos on them. Get a little bit of hype built up out there. Like, try to get it in the hands of Bees Blades if I can. So I think Bees will be down for that. Try to get it in the hands of, I can probably get it in the hands of Tim School of Fish. Easily enough. And then I got like Weldon Carry. I got Dark Water. Just try something a little different. You know, instead of waiting till after it's dropped. I think I had planned to reach out to max level. I'm not 100% sure. But I'll have to see who all I can get email addresses for and reach out to. Blade steel is going to be 9CR18. I would have done D2 as much as I loved D2. But I've seen so much bad D2 over the last little while that I don't trust it anymore. which breaks my damn heart. All right. Me with knives, what's going on? How you doing? All right. I'm doing pretty good, me with knives. Nobody was online to, no one was online to run PS5 with, so I was like, fuck it, we're doing a live stream. All right, let's see if we're going to get sub 300. Hey. Yeah, 9CR does really, it does good enough for edge retention. 9CR does good edge retention, but it's also easy to sharpen. It's easier to sharpen than D2 by quite a bit. That was also part of what drove the decision. You know, I'm kind of looking at it from Gluey Dude, what's up? How you doing? But I'm looking at it from the perspective of the end user. That balance of edge retention versus ease of sharpening, and 9CR18 is kind of how I kind of feel 9CR18 is in the butter zone for that. Me with knives, I don't know when it's dropping. We don't even have prototypes finished up yet. So once prototypes are finished, I'm pretty sure we'll have a better idea of when it can drop and like when it can drop, and hopefully we'll know how we're splitting up the profit and all that stuff. But the price should be $40, 40. So you'll be able to pick up the kit for $40 and put it together yourself. And then it'll be a real simple build. Again, thinking about the end user. It's going to be a liner lock, so it'll be real easy to put together. So, you know, it should be the best experience for the end user possible. And it should be a full flat grind. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Had to grab snacks. No, we already did Gone Crapping. Me with knives, 1 second. We are on the Cobalt D2 knife from Lowe's. Boy, they put a shitload of salt on this batch. Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Yeah, I'm trying to hold off on the emotional support caffeine for as long as possible because I've already been through 1 can. Yeah, like normally there's not that much salt on these, but you can see the salt rattling around in the package. Like they put a shit ton of salt on this particular batch. Yeah, they must have been in a hurry to get those done. Yeah, there we go, Evil Twin. Nope, that won't cut. Yeah, I still want to pick up a good OTF, like a good OTF, not a cheap piece of shit. Like, I don't want to pick up a Microtech just because I don't want the warranty to be so fragile I can't sharpen it myself. But I don't know what I would buy otherwise. No, I do not want to buy a Kershaw. MagnaCut might change my mind. I do like some MagnaCut. Yeah, I didn't know there was a Kalashnikov OTF, but that's something that I would spend money on. I do like the Kalashnikovs. They might have condensed a Catholic church into the scales to make sure they got that weight up. Heavy is good. Heavy mean quality. Yeah, my fake Eastern European accent sucks. Ah, cool me with knives. I haven't won shit in forever, but I also haven't been trying to win shit in forever because I never win shit. Brando, been wondering where you were. Soul of Heart 88, what's up? How you doing? Soul of Heart, it must have been a long time since you've been here. Punisher, we'll see you in a bit. And I'm waiting for my giveaway too. I know I need to do one. I've got the knives for it. I've got sharpening stones to give away. I just know that like right now I can't afford the shipping on any of it. Yeah, at some point, I need to back up itself again. Yeah, that's us. And not to jump back on a dead horse and beat it some more. Epic Freeze. I've reviewed the Sharp All that I've got, and I've reviewed both of the what you call it, the Worksharp Precision Adjust that I've got. But it's kind of, when I do spend money, what do I focus on? And this is a knife channel. Yeah, the sharpening block, I know yeah, Epic Freeze, I'm not sure where those videos are. They are so far back in the backlog. Come on. Yeah, I've at least done videos with them. But, you know, if you've seen the live streams, you know how well they do, just from the live streams. Yeah, I mean, the Cold Steel Mayhem. God bless the Mayhem. Darius Zaleski, I hope I pronounced that right. How you doing? Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to be greedy with the YouTube stuff, but I am trying to set the channel up where it can support itself. Yeah. Yeah, Death had to grow a pair of balls to drag Chuck Norris in. I'm going to go with Darius. I'm going to go with Darius because my American ass has a hard time pronouncing the European names. I don't know. I pocketed the Mayhem in my work pants for a week. It did pretty well, just fine. Oh boy. This box is not happy. Hey Gardner, what's up? How you doing, man? News radio, I'm willing to bet the next box that we cut up will be just fine. I don't think we've hit the limit of this knife in an hour and 20 minutes. I could be wrong. We do get the occasional box where the cardboard just does not like getting cut up. But unfortunately, we got to finish this thing off. Well, hopefully you got it back, Big Gardener. Sounds like you got it back. Epic Freeze, you're not wrong. There is a fucking mountain of cardboard piled up. It was like I had planned on doing some marathon streams in March. That's why I took some time off in March. I had planned on doing some marathon streams to raise money for Make-A-Wish. And then the algorithm turned on me. And I realized I wasn't going to make more than about $4. All right, Joe. Enjoy. Farm safely. But I realized I wasn't going to raise more than like $4 for the cause. So I was like, you know what? Not this year. At some point, I really want to be able to do streams for charity and actually raise a significant amount of money. I don't know when or how, but at some point. Nah, Big Gardener, you're good. Like, I'm not expecting anything from anyone specifically. That's not the issue. You know, it's just kind of one of the pipe dreams when I started the channel was like, I can do some stuff to raise money for charity. You know, I'd like to do stuff for the Humane Society. I'd like to do stuff for Make-A-Wish or No Kid Hungry, just somebody. Come on. Now, work's been all right. You know, I've been on a mid shift instead of opening, and the mid shift has been a hell of a lot kinder to me and a hell of a lot more enjoyable than opening was. You know, the guy that's opening, that took over, has got a lot going on, a lot going for him that I didn't have, which is good for him. And when it's good for him, it's good for all of us. But doing the mids is way better than opening was for me. I know KO has been doing some lives. And I've contacted him on Instagram fairly recently, so he should. I guess he's doing okay. Gotcha, Joseph. Yeah, it's been a while since I've really interacted with YouTube all that much. It's been a little while since I've interacted with YouTube a whole hell of a lot, so God knows what all I've missed out on. No, I did not miss out on Bark River. There was no avoiding that. There was no avoiding Bark River. I think I have done a live stream since Bark River went under, or right as Bark River was going under, because I vaguely remember talking about it. I don't know how easy that is to spot. CW Smith 17, what's up? How you doing? I don't know how easy that was to spot, but man, this is beating my hand up pretty bad. Yeah, at some point, I need to take a serrated knife and see how that does a cardboard slayer. As a matter of fact, I've got one right here that's been on the table for a random roll live stream a million times now, and it still hasn't landed. Yeah, I've put that thing on the table a bunch of damn times for a random roll, and the D20 of Destiny just hasn't picked it out yet. Like, I imagine it's going to be a pain in the ass. I imagine the serrations are going to be a huge headache. I don't know. I imagine Fook is still on hiatus. And I think he may be getting bit in the ass by the longer you're gone, the harder it is to come back. Okay. Now let's find out whether or not it was just a box that was in unfortunate shape. Yeah, that was part of my rationale with the live stream, was just trying to not stay gone for too damn long. Good old T-Swizzle. Yeah, see, now we're back on some cardboard that likes being cut. You know, this is why we use the edge sharpness tester in conjunction with the cardboard, because you do have boxes like that that just, the cardboard does not want to cut worth of shit. So you have to check it with the tester to see, all right, is this just a bad cardboard box, or are my numbers really that bad? Brando, we're still doing the cobalt knife that we didn't finish off last time. Working on getting it finished off today, which it depends on how much more live stream I've got in me. This is the first live stream in how long now? That's gone longer than an hour and a half. I'm not sure if it's supposed to look like a circuit board or just look mildly futuristic. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Jerry, that had to be kind of cool to step in there and see just the drastic difference between that and everything on the outside of it. Me with knives, yeah, it's D2. Or at least they're claiming it's D2. You know the main reason we appreciate Art Deco so much is tied entirely to Batman the Animated Series, right? You know that, right? Evil Twin, you need to see it. I don't know if it's on Netflix. I'm not sure exactly where it is to stream. Around the cabin, what's up? How you doing? I've been at working on the PS5. You know, I had talked about it in the last couple of videos I did, but with what's happened to the channel with the views and everything else, and the channel not supporting itself right now, it's gotten real hard to interact with YouTube. But I kind of missed you guys, and I miss doing live streams, so here we are. And nobody was online to run games with either. We're doing pretty good around the cabin. You know, everything is business as usual. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of complaints about YouTube lately, with views getting throttled and it almost feeling like people are getting shadow banned. I don't think even YouTube knows why YouTube's doing it. Yeah, so I mean, it's not just that. You know, it's you got guys that are doing shit like sleeping on cam that have got 500 concurrent viewers. It's like maybe I should be doing that. You know, I don't necessarily. I'm not necessarily so obsessed that I can't live with being a small fish in a big pond. But right now, it's just that the channel's not supporting itself that's really kicking me in the nuts. Yeah, that's what gets me. And it's just, like I said, it's just like Ice Cream Man 22 or whatever it is, my sleep paralysis demon. You know, he just sits there spouting gibberish on his streams with a toilet around his neck, and he's pulling 350, 400, 500 consecutive or concurrent viewers. And it's just like, bro, I am doing the wrong fucking thing. Austin McGee, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. You know, I just saw AVE post a complaint video about online tutorials. Austin McGee, we have got the Cobalt Tools D2 knife from Lowe's. Boy, that was bothering me. Yeah, if I ever go fishing again, I need to bring a battery bank and live stream that shit. This guy is like 15 bucks at Lowe's. I think someone looked on the website and saw they're on sale for 10 right now. Yeah, I haven't gone fishing in so long that I no longer have fishing poles or anything else to go fishing with. Austin, we're doing edge retention testing, and we're testing out ergonomics. We're looking to see how much cardboard we can cut up with this before the edge is completely fucked, and how badly this thing fucks my hand up. Yeah, I am so tempted to say Harbor Freight's probably not going to do another Icon knife for quite a while. But the second I say that, there's going to be one drop. The second I say that, there's going to be a new one. I bought the Icon knife and then I gave it away. I didn't particularly like how they very shamelessly ripped off the design for the Beg Knives Mini Glimpse the way they did, and then tried to hide it. No, they didn't have permission. They didn't have permission. They didn't pay Beg Knives anything. They didn't get the green light. Nothing. You know, and it would have been different if, say, it would have been something more generic and mainline looking, kind of like some knives look like the Iridium, even though the Iridium is such a basic design. That a lot of things can look like an Iridium. Like, that was such a distinct design and such a distinct look that there's no way they could have come by that accidentally. Austin, I do have a few knives that I made myself, but they're not very good. I'm not that good at making knives. I need to get in the shop and make something just so I can feel better about myself, but I'm not that good at making knives. Yeah, the one thing that I am really proud of, however, is my Damascus Kiradashi. I made this for myself, and I am real proud of this thing. Okay. We are 2 hours in on the edge. Well, here's the thing. Like, the bug out is such a reasonably basic shape that it's real hard to not do an axis lock that bears some resemblance somewhere to the bug out. You know, it's such a basic shape that it's real hard to not end up looking at least kind of like a bug out in some aspect, unless you do something that's really distinct and really unique. You know, that's where everyone's okay with cloning a bug out, and it's like, no, you call anything that looks remotely like a bug out a clone, yeah, it's gonna look like everybody's okay with it. Hey, Jerry, thanks for the thumbs up, man. I appreciate it. Oh, this is acetone. This is acetone. It does it does a good job of getting gunk and stuff cleaned off your blade really easily. And we need the gunk cleaned off if we're gonna do the edge test. Mafio Bill, what's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, 323. Okay. Oh, nice, Bill. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything new in a hot minute now, but I haven't had the budget for anything new. Now, we're going to give this about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to decide whether or not to wrap the live stream up. I'm starting to get real tired. And I don't think emotional support caffeine is going to fix it. Oh, nice. Nice, Bill. All right, Austin. Appreciate you dropping by, man. Yeah, 3:30, I'll decide whether or not I want to keep going. My hand hurts and I'm tired. Yeah, Epic Freeze. I've actually thought about stronger energy drinks, and I don't feel like going through that feeling of that right there afterwards. Oh, nice, Bill. I'm assuming you got some really nice sharpening toys to play with then. Yeah, I think we will wrap this up in about 10 minutes here. The rock stars don't really hit me that hard, but going through a can of Red Bull on an empty stomach will fuck me up. Yeah, I haven't gotten into the Celsius. I'm a little worried about whether or not that's just too fucking strong. Oh God. So, when Red Bull first came out and nobody knew what it was, right? I worked at a scratch and dent appliance outlet, and somebody came in and bought a dryer, and I picked it up and put it in their van for them, and they gave me a case of Red Bulls as a tip. Oh, I fucking miss Jolt so much. But I didn't know what they were exactly. I had seen the name Red Bull before, but I didn't know what they were. So I drank one. I'm like, all right, cool. Nothing happened. I'm still thirsty. I drank a second one. All right, cool. Nothing happened. I'm still thirsty. And I drank a third one. And next thing I know, I am fucking wired out of my goddamn mind. Um, cannot shut my eyes. Fucking walking about 3 times faster than normal. Everybody said it looked like I just did a fucking rail of coke, and it took a couple hours to wear off. And I've never gotten that reaction again. I think I overdid it the first time, and I've been chasing the dragon. Oh wow, Bill! I hope that's some good money for you. I hope that is some good money for you, Bill. Yeah, that'd be nice, man. That would be nice, Bill. Oh God. Now, caffeine doesn't really do me like that unless I pound a lot of it or I pound a lot of it on an empty stomach. Um, it's more of it. It's soothing, and I become a little bit more alert, but I'm not super wired and super full of energy. Like a can of Monster first thing in the morning is part of the wake up sauce. Even though I'm still tired, I just feel slightly less shitty when I'm walking into work. Oh, Punisher, that's the kind of shit I'd do and ruin my whole damn night. Like I would be unaware of what was about to happen and ruin my whole damn night. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool, Bill. Like I hope you keep us updated on how it goes for you. I'm definitely interested now. But yeah, oh, believe me, I loved original Jolt Cola. I really loved original Jolt Cola. So when they did the Jolt Cola Ultra, I definitely bought a lot of those for the 3 weeks they were out, and then they were gone again. Yeah, Red Bull's got taurine. Hell, for that matter, Monster's got taurine too. Yeah, yeah, you'll learn. You know, you'll learn how to be sociable. You'll learn how to be more social as you go. Like I used to be a lot more awkward socially, but I've been working a customer facing job for so damn long now that my sales floor voice has taken over my daily life. Like I unless I'm real comfortable and I've been away from the sales floor for a while, I talk like I'm on the sales floor when I'm at home. But yeah, we're getting to the point where it's time to wrap the stream up, and the next time we pick the stream up, we'll finish this thing off. Um, my hand is pretty chewed up now. Yeah, definitely. You guys take care. Y'all have a good one. Be safe. When we pick the live stream back up again, we're gonna finish this thing off. Um, I am definitely tired and ready to go lay down or jump on the PS5. Thank you for that. Hi, Polymer Duck. All right, you guys. Y'all have a good one. I am signing out. Love you, Jerry.